How do deep threat WR score fantasy points? Imagine a player who can change the game with just one long catch. That's what deep threat wide receivers do best. They're the speedsters who stretch defenses and create big scoring chances. Deep threat wide receivers score fantasy points mainly by making long catches that cover 20 or more yards. These plays often lead to large yardage gains, which boost their fantasy totals. When they catch a ball for down the field, it adds a lot of yards to their total for the week. Touchdowns are another big way they earn points. Because deep threat wide receivers run routes aimed at the end zone or far from defenders, they often score on long receptions. Touchdowns are the highest scoring plays in fantasy football, so even if they don't get many targets, a single long catch can mean a lot of points. These players usually have fewer targets than possession receivers but make the most of each one. They tend to have a boom or bust scoring pattern. Sometimes they explode with a big play, and other times they might not do much. This makes them exciting but also a little unpredictable. Air yards are a key measure for deep threat wide receivers. Air yards count how far the ball travels in the air to reach the receiver. Deep threats tend to have high air yards because they are the main targets for long passes. High air yards suggest they have the potential to produce big fantasy days. Efficiency metrics also matter. Deep threat wide receivers often have higher touchdown rates per target or per route run. This means they can turn a small number of targets into points quickly. Their ability to convert long passes into touchdowns makes them valuable, especially in formats that reward big plays. However, their fantasy scoring can be inconsistent. Because they're relying on big plays, they might have games with no points if they don't connect on long passes. But when they hit, they can score a lot in one game. In fantasy football, deep threat wide receivers work well as high upside flex options or as wide receiver 2 or 3. They're perfect for leagues that reward big plays or long touchdowns. Watching their target share, air yards, and touchdown rate can help you pick which deep threat players are most likely to deliver big points. Pairing a deep threat with a possession receiver can give your team a good mix of steady points and explosive potential. To sum up, deep threat wide receivers score fantasy points mainly by turning long passes into big yardage and touchdowns. They usually have fewer targets but make them count with high-impact plays. Their scoring can be unpredictable, but when they connect on a long play, it can change the game and boost your fantasy team's score.